COVID-19, digital slavery, and the rise of global control by the Cabal criminals must be held accountable. COVID-19, digital slavery, and the rise of global control. The principle of justice demands that criminals be held accountable, no matter how powerful they are or how deep their networks go. In recent years, the COVID-19 pandemic has exposed not only a public health crisis, but also the dark anatomy of global control. At the heart of this orchestration lies the deep state, an unelected web of power, backed by an international cabal. These entities have weaponized fear, media, finance, and digital technology to manipulate, enslave, and reduce the global population into passive, obedient subjects. The people of the United States and the world must no longer be treated as pawns, slaves, or collateral casualties in a game of imperial dominance and techno-feudalism. Professor Luc Montagnier, silenced. Truth at the onset of the COVID-19 outbreak. Professor Luc Montagnier, Nobel laureate and world-renowned virologist, dared to challenge the official narrative. He stated unequivocally that the virus was not natural but engineered in a lab, combining segments of the HIV virus with SARS. According to Montagnier, such bioengineering could only have been accomplished in one of approximately 10 highly sophisticated laboratories worldwide. His assertions were not wild speculation. They were grounded in molecular biology and data analysis. Montagnier was not a fringe figure. He was the co-discoverer of the HIV virus in 1983, a scientific feat that earned him the Nobel Prize. Despite his stature, he was attacked, censored, and dismissed by mainstream media outlets and public health institutions that blindly followed the script of the World Health Organization and its financial sponsors. Yet, his credibility could not be fully dismantled. His background in immunology and history of pioneering research made him a difficult target for total character assassination. Moreover, the silence surrounding his accusations speaks volumes. The fact that respected scientific voices like Montagnier's were marginalized rather than debated suggests an orchestrated suppression of truth, a hallmark of authoritarian control dressed as scientific consensus. COVID-19 as a global social experiment. Beyond the virus itself, the pandemic became a testbed for global governance tactics. Under the pretext of public health, billions of people were confined to their homes, stripped of their freedoms, numbed by endless entertainment, and locked into digital dependency. What was framed as quarantine for safety was, in practice, a form of soft incarceration. The population was monitored through smartphones, censored on social media, and tracked with vaccine passports, tools eerily similar to prisoner surveillance systems. Universal Basic Income, UBI, a concept that once promised liberation from economic insecurity, was subtly rebranded as a tool of control. Emergency stimulus checks, lockdown subsidies, and digital food vouchers were introduced not as rights, but as conditional privileges. These systems tested how far populations would comply in exchange for basic survival. Once this compliance was secured, the path was cleared for the next phase: total economic control. CBDCs, the architecture of digital enslavement central bank, digital currencies, CBDCs, are being pushed worldwide as the next evolution of money. But the real objective is far more sinister: to eliminate cash, erase traditional savings, and create programmable digital money that can be tracked, frozen, or redirected at will. Unlike Bitcoin or decentralized cryptocurrencies, CBDCs are centralized tools of control. The prototype for this digital financial prison is already functional in China, where the Chinese Communist Party's social credit system links financial privileges to obedience. Citizens with low scores may be denied travel, education, and access to their own savings. Surveillance cameras, facial recognition, and real-time data tracking complete the digital panopticon. This model is now being exported. According to credible insider information, the project for CBDCs began in earnest in 2011, spearheaded by the Rothschild banking dynasty. Robert Giori, a key figure in global currency design, was tasked with developing the digital framework. Christine Lagarde, then head of the International Monetary Fund and now president of the European Central Bank, was chosen as the face of the project, lending it institutional credibility while serving elite interests. This is not a financial innovation. It is a transformation of society into a digital plantation, where every transaction, every economic choice, and every dissenting voice can be monitored and punished in real time. The call for accountability. If justice is to mean anything, then these architects of digital tyranny, be they corporate magnates, bank dynasties, or captured politicians, must be held accountable. Their actions have led to the suffering, impoverishment, and psychological deterioration of billions. They have experimented on the global population, not with consent, but with coercion. They have turned science into propaganda, public health into surveillance, and money into chains. The deep state and the cabal that control it have betrayed the foundational principles of liberty and human dignity. The time has come for exposure, resistance, and justice. The people of the world must awaken, not as consumers or digital cattle, but as sovereign individuals demanding truth, transparency, and the restoration of natural rights.